Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I have a wonderful family of two loving parents who are always willing to do anything to make me happy. Sometimes they argue, and sometimes they scream. Honestly, it's my mum who argues and screams, but whatever. They're amazing, and have always supported me, and for that I'm forever thankful. Without them, I wouldn't have succeeded to become the captain of the football team or the top student in my science class. For all these reasons, I never questioned what I know about my parents, up until what happened a few weeks ago. Despite being this amazing to me, my dad has always clearly been different from other dads of my friends. I know that a lot of people expect dads to be tough, great at handiwork and football lovers, but my dad has never been any of those things. He's quite scrawny and softly spoken, never wanting to get into a fight or even an argument. I never found that an issue, but still, that didn't mean I never saw. As a teenager, hearing people talk about my dad behind his back always made me very frustrated. That never stopped. Whenever he comes to school to pick me up, I hear my classmates laughing and mimicking the way he talks or walks. That made me angry. Tom, another football player, asked me once, "Dude, are you sure that guy isn't your mum? My dad could kick his ass." I tried to ignore it and walk away. These guys are clearly just mad that our team had crushed them, I told myself. Then a few other guys had started to crowd around, blocking my path as I tried to leave. It was then the second guy, Andrew, chimed in. "Has your dad come out as gay yet?" Well, it was along those lines, but there was a lot more swearing and some sharper words were used. Before he could say anything else, my fist had sunk into his jaw. I left the school quickly, before even comprehending what I'd done. To nobody's surprise, my parents and I were called into the principal's office the next day. It turned out that Andrew wasn't too happy. His parents were very angry and joined my parents in the principal's office to learn more about what had happened. Andrew's mother was very annoying. She kept staring at my father and then whispered something to her husband's ear, and they both laughed. The whole situation started to get on my nerves even more than before. Then the principal started to talk and preach about being peaceful and not to use violence, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. I was totally focused on my dad, trying to read his facial expressions and making an effort to find the right words to say. Can you imagine the whole situation? Imagine you're in my shoes and have to confront your dad in front of all these people that you don't like. The principal asked me to explain to everyone in the room why on earth I acted violently. I didn't want to say anything. Then my dad requested an answer from me, only to be followed by my mother demanding me to utter. My dad asked me the same question again, and I seriously wish the ground would swallow me up. What should I say? How can I tell this to my dad? I had many unanswered questions in my head. My anger, sadness, frustration were all growing way beyond my limits. When my dad stood up and said angrily that he is not leaving the office before he knows the truth, the whole situation was choking me at that moment, and I exploded. Within 1 second, I rose on my feet, looked my father in the eyes, and screamed at him, "Tell me, why do you do all this? Why don't you act like the other dads? Where's your manhood? Do you really want to know what happened? My friends called you gay. They all call you gay." My parents looked at each other and lowered their heads. Angrily, I asked, "Why are they silent? What is it, Dad?" No response, just silence. I grabbed him from his arm and asked him again, this time louder, "Is it true? Are you gay?" I could see him holding back the tears, and he didn't answer. I was shouting again, hysterically, and asking him to tell me the truth, when he stood up and said, louder than ever, "Yes, I am gay." I was speechless. I couldn't grasp anything. I could only think of how my father has lied to me. He betrayed me. He will never earn my trust again. I thought of all the scenarios I'll face and the responses I will hear from my friends from the moment they know the truth about my dad. That exact moment, I felt like I'm losing consciousness. I looked around. Everything was blurry. I could only spot the faces of Andrew, his parents, the school principal, and the counsellor all looking at me and grinning. That shocked me. How is it possible that this whole situation of my personal emotional rollercoaster felt like an entertaining movie scene for them to just watch and grin? Without looking back, I slammed the door hard and left quickly. I felt very fragile and weak in that moment for exposing my reality and bitter emotions to some remorseless people. Despite my shock, I learned my lesson. Our personal life is called personal for a reason. I'm still adjusting to my new reality, but whether my dad is gay or not, it's no one's business. At least I have a wonderful father who loves me more than anything else in life. Thank you for listening to my story. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you've ever had a similar experience, please share it in the comments section below.